Hello students, today we are working on 2.1, Module 7 work along, constructing a solid model using multiple sketches. Okay, so go ahead and open up Inventor, get that started. And I have the directions pulled up here on the side so we can work along together. Okay, once you have Inventor open, we're going to go to File, New, then New. You might have your folder that looks like this, en-us. We need to hit that caret and drop it down so we can get to metric. We are working in millimeters. We see that right here for our directions. So we're going to select standard mm.ipt, then click create. And now we are ready to save our file. Go up to save. Make sure it opens up in our CAD folder. And we are going to save the file, Inventor work along 7-1. So I'm just going to copy and paste that over. Make sure you are saving in your CAD folder and then hit save. Now, I already have it saved in there. I've already worked on this. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. Okay. So as you see here, in step 2, we are going to create the following object. As you notice, their XY plane is horizontal versus ours, which is vertical. So the top of the model will become the front view due to the axes being rotated. So we are going to use the top view as our base model due to it having the most information. So we will work on the XY plane. So we are going to click on Start 2D Sketch. And here's our XY plane. And once you click it, you will see that we are now working on the front, whereas theirs is on the top. And if you see here, they are on the ZX, and we are on the XY. I'm sorry, they are on the XZ plane. We are on the XY. All right, so now we are going to use this information provided, and we are going to start here, which is our X0, Y0, Z0, and we are going to work in the negative X direction and positive Y direction. We have our information here that we need. We can also scroll down. I have directions in here that you may also follow. Here's another way that you can follow along with the numbers. So we're going to use that. I think it's easier to follow along. All right, so we are going to select our line tool. Make sure that our yellow dots match up and turn green. And we are going to type in 25. Hit enter, and remember, we can keep working. We don't need to hit escape. We're just drawing a line. Think of it as using a pencil and not lifting your pencil off of the paper. Now we are going to go up 75. Hit enter. Now we are going to go in the negative X position. 125, and we see that number right there. And we know that it's negative because it's also in parentheses. So we're going to go negative 125, hit enter. And then again, you can use your wheel to readjust. Okay, now we're going to go up. We're going to go 25, hit enter. We're going to come across 150, and you will see when we hit that line there, back to our starting point, it's 150, but I am going to type in 150 just so that that dimension line will come up and it will label. And then when you come down, make sure you close it off, that you turn green, and it is 100. And again, I'm going to type in 100 just so that my dimension line comes up. Okay, once you have that, you see that I am still connected. You need to hit escape in order to stop the line command. Once you have your sketch finished, we're going to come up and click this green arrow, or I'm sorry, this green check mark for finished sketch. We're going to click our house to put it in isometric view. Okay, the next step is we are going to extrude. So we're going to come up under 3D model if you're not already there. Click on extrude. Right now under distance A we have 10. And if we look at our directions, we come back up top here, we will see that it is 100. We see that it's going to come out 100 for the extrusion. So this is coming out this way. So type in 100 millimeters. And we want it to come straight out. So we're going to leave it under default. And then we're going to click OK. So since we have now extruded, it's adjusted a little bit. So let's go to put it back in isometric view just so that we see our entire object. Now that we have that, we now need to start another sketch. So we are on step 6. So we need to put in that notch. So you see this notch right here, and then you see it here as well. So that's what we have to develop. So we have our numbers here. We see that we have 25 and 25. We have 25 on this side, and then we see we have 100 that we extruded. So then we also see here that we're going to come up 35 so that we can get in this part here. Okay, so we now need to start another 2D sketch. We need to let Inventor know what we are doing, where we're working, and the command that we need to choose. So we are going to select Start 2D Sketch. We're going to click the right side, and you will see that it will now rotate. Now Inventor knows that we're now going to start drawing on this side, just like we began with our 2D sketch whenever we first started with our lines. Okay, so how do we know what we're doing? How do we know what our numbers are? So I went over that up here where we're going to come over 25. So go ahead and click on line. And we're going to come over from here over 25. Hit enter and then escape. So we extruded 100, so we know each side is 25 because we are given the 25, which is here, and we are also given 25 here as well. We can also do a little bit of math, and we know that we have 25 here and 25 here. This is 100, so 100 minus 50 gives us 50. So we know that 50 is what is going to be across here for our width. And our height will be 25. All right, so now that we know our numbers, we know that we can now put in the other side. We know that we are putting in 25 on this side as well. So type in 25, enter. You can hit escape. So now you have 25 on each side because we have a 25 there, and we also have a 25 there. Now, to get this in here in the middle, we're going to use the rectangle tool just because it's going to be a lot easier. Make sure that you snap on and it turns green. You're going to come up and over. You're going to see that you have two boxes that open up. So you have one that's 50 millimeters and 33 millimeters based off of my sketch that I have here. So we want to go over 50 because, again, we subtracted our extrusion, which is 100, and then the 25 plus the 25 is 50. So we took 100 minus 50 and we got 50. Now to get that next number there, we're just going to hit tab. Don't hit enter, hit tab. When you do that, it's going to go down into that other box, and that is our height. So we want to put in 35. Once you have that, now you may hit enter. Now, where did I get 35? I got it from right here. Here's our 35. It gives us that information. Okay, so now that we have all of that in, now we need to extrude. but we're going to do the extrude a little bit differently. So we want to come back over to the 3D model. We're going to click on extrude. Now you will see that my extrusion came out and it's green. That is because I closed off my shape. Make sure that if you used lines instead of the rectangle, that you closed off the shape and you snapped on and it turned green. If not, because it's not connected, it will not extrude. So we have our extrusion coming out, but we don't want it to come out. We actually want to cut it. We want to make a cut here in the middle. So to do that, we are going to type in 25 because we know that that is what our thickness is. We want to flip. We're going to use the second choice. And when you flip, now we have cut it out. Once you have that, click OK. It's already an isometric view, and now you see we have our notch. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to cut off our corners. So let's come up and let's take a look at our numbers. So we see that it's going to be 25 to cut from this part here inward and from this part here and inward. And then we want 35. So we're going to go 35 down and then we're just going to close it off like we're connecting the dots. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do to get started, we need to let Inventor know that we're going to do another sketch. So we're going to click on, well, first, let's spin our object around because we're going to work on the bottom. So you can use your directional cube to spin that around. Now we will come up to start 2D sketch, click on the bottom so that it is selected, and then we just need to take our hand and move it down so that we can work on these corners to cut them and remove them. Okay, so let's go to put in our numbers. We're going to click on line, and we are going to come down the side, make sure that it turns green. We're going to come down 35. Make sure that you are at a 90-degree angle. Type in 35, hit enter. Once you do, hit escape. Now we need to draw our line across the top here. We're going to go and type in 25. Hit enter. Now you're still attached, and we can stay attached because now we're just going to connect the dots. We're going to connect from here to here and make sure it turns green so that we close that off. Now you're still attached, so make sure you hit escape. And now let's do the same thing on the other side. Make sure it turns green, 90-degree angle. You're going to come down 35, hit enter, and then you want to hit escape. Go back to your line. Make sure you snap on that corner and it turns green. We're going to come across 25, hit enter, and you should still be attached. And now we're simply just going to connect the dots and turn green. You'll see that you're still attached. Hit escape, and now you have it marked off of what we're going to cut out. So we need to come over to the 3D model, extrude, and again, as long as you have these closed off, that you should be able to extrude them. So you'll need to click on them. We have two. We need to let Inventor know we're going to do both of them. And you'll see it looks like something like that. So it's already 25 because that's what we did on this side. That's the thickness of our object. So we're going to leave in the 25. But you see that it's coming the wrong direction. We want to flip it. Now that it's flipped, you see that it is now cut out. Go ahead and click OK. Hit your house to put in an isometric view. And you have now completed your object. Now let's go ahead and put in our color. So we will go under Tools, Appearance. We're going to type in light steel blue. And we will wait for that color to populate. This is also in the directions. Then you may make whatever choice you want. You can pick eggshell, platinum, pearl, semi-gloss, gloss, whatever you want. I'm going to pick semi-gloss. Click Apply, and then X out. Then we need to highlight our object. So we'll click on light steel blue. You can click out, make sure that it took, and then hit X. Make sure that it is in isometric view. Make sure that when you screenshot, you are getting in this Inventor work along 7-1 so that I can see that it is saved correctly. You can also see down here at the bottom as well that it is Inventor work along 7-1.ipt. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.